Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Borderlands 2. Now, I exited out and exited back, re-logged in. It's been a day, another day. On the slot machines, I was able to get into a winning streak, and you can see at the very bottom of the menu there, that's barely even emphasized the amount of money I have left, which is 2,000. I spent all that gambling, but I got a winning streak and I got 94 iridium, which does not put me at the point where I could buy a 3-pack upgrade for a 100, but it does put me in a position where I can upgrade this and upgrade this. So everything now is at 50 except for this, which is this 100. And then the question, I guess, would come down to what's the first thing we want to upgrade, and that would be grenades. Think about bringing that one back. And when you compare it, it seems like pink is just pink. And so if there is a upgrade after 100, which there probably is, so you get to actually 10 grenades. Well, obviously we can get to 10, but the question would be, could we get to 11? That is a thing, certainly. Where are we on missions? I have to remind myself. We're supposed to convince Claptrap to help deactivate the barrier, destroy the bunker, open the security door, and steal the vault key. And Angel, who we believe, and this is a slight spoiler, we believe is a computer program, will help us. Or, you know what we could do is we could go do level 25 bandit slaughter round 5s and creature slaughter round 2s. But I'm thinking I might even just skip them and not even do them. Let's play the main story. I think we kind of have to. Let's see. We've got several new guns, it looks like.
FYI, it may take some serious convincing to get Claptrap to head to Thousand Cuts.
So, there's something that I've been considering here. The guns really are way more limited compared to the bazillion guns that they talk about. There are Hyperion style guns which have a tendency to either increase accuracy or have faster zoom or something like that. There are Waldorf guns which have a tendency to have elemental effects, and you can see 3 of the guns that are equipped are Waldorf guns. We have Tidore guns that explode like a grenade when you reload, and I have 2 of those. And then there's also Jacob's guns that you have to pull the trigger every time it fires. And that may be it. So you're talking 4. Maybe there's a 5th company that makes guns, but really, if I had my pick, they'd all be Vladov guns. So when you're at the max level, which I think is 65, unless there's been an update where there is no max level, you'd want a full loadout of Waldorf guns to do elemental effects, because there's so many quests and benefits for that. Apparently there's also bandit class guns, which I bet the bandit class guns are just neutral basic guns that don't really have anything on them. Or there is the Iridian, maybe Iridian class guns that we haven't seen any of those. So yeah, maybe theoretically you could at max level get Iridian class guns and they might do something. But then you also have to question, what's the value of any gun that isn't at max level? Because there really is no value on that until you have level 65 or whatever max level is weapons in the legendary highest rarity. Everything below that is kind of something you just have to live with. It's not. I know I'm explaining this and looking at it in a very negative way, but that really is the case. Like, there's a roof here. Can't get up. See, it's an invisible wall. I could jump up here. So yeah, there's a level of weirdness, certainly, depending on what kind of attitude you want to take with the weapons. You could say most, by far, almost undeniably, most of the items, the guns you get are vendor trash. All the white color weapons are not worth having at all. Even kind of at the early level 1 and level 5 rate, that they're not really worth having. There's something up there, but it's probably going to be some pathetically mundane item. Yep, just money. $21 for all that effort. I could have just probably opened the box. So I kind of have to wonder about it. Even in comparison to Skyrim, which it's odd that this game really is a good comparison to Skyrim. There was like 12 styles of armor and weapon you could make, and you could put enchantments on them, and you could modify it yourself through crafting and enchantments, magic. And I kind of would prefer something more like that. In the end, I spent a lot more time with a lot fewer weapons that I was upgrading compared to the concept that Borderlands propagates. But then in Borderlands 2 it was alright. I just think they can't go any further with it, and they need to probably narrow it down and not have the guns be such a big focus. Because they don't change. They don't feel any different. They may look different, sure, that's one thing. But when you think about Fortnite or PUBG, you don't have thousands of different types of guns that you try to sell people on. Counter-Strike Go has skins for guns, but they're just skins. But that's too much of a talk. Let's start the game.
Minion! Let's go to 1,000 cuts!
Or not.
I enlisted you as my minion, then Angel just happened to attack Sanctuary. Don't you get it? Jack was coming after me! It's time to take the fight to him! I'll meet you in 1,000 cuts!
And he goes invisible with his invisibility thing, and I don't hear him moving. So I don't know particularly how he would even get to 1,000 cuts, because remember, Sanctuary is floating, and you can't just take a leap off of Sanctuary and land somewhere. So you would have to assume that that Claptrap is gone. I guess at some point during Claptrap's robot revolution, it was mentioned that all the other Claptraps died, and that's why in the second game you don't have the save the Claptrap missions that upgraded your backpack. I still don't think buying upgrades to Iridium was the best move. Seems like it was kind of a lazy thought. Let's move on to 1,000 cuts though, and just move the story forward. Now I'm fairly certain doing this level is the beginning of the end. It's going to be not a particularly it's all gonna get very serious. These guys are still trying to kill me. There's no real reason to fight them though. Like, killing these guys is barely getting me 2 experience. There definitely is some big split between different types of enemies. Like that gun loader, for example, got me 91 experience, where killing that buzzard got me 2 experience. And really this is just supposed to be a war zone that I'm supposed to run through. I mean, I could grind. Sure. I don't think they're ever gonna stop coming. So eventually I'd run out of bullets. But I also don't think I'd get enough experience at 91 increments to get up to level 29 easily. There might be a grind in killing buzzards. Claptrap was
Ready
here.
to go?
Talk to him.
Minion, I've started my attack. I'm gonna tag every inch of this mountain if it's the last thing I do. Let's go. We're gonna make Jack regret ever setting him shop on this cliff. It'll take him minutes to wash this graffiti off. Minutes, I say! Hey, you coming or not? Oh, right.
Oops. So, no good reason why they have the respawn unit there. And he does his and open. So that cost $211 because I used up my money gambling. Let's see.
Oh, you made it past the security wall, huh? That's, real cute. Of course, the bunker's still gonna obliterate you, but nonetheless.
So this might be like the secret armory of General Knox, a good equivalent. Probably. I'm not sure you really get any real reason. You probably have some opportunity to come back to this section if you want to look around. But yeah, I don't think there's a lot of reason for it. Still getting a lot of white and green style rarity items. I probably could get knocked off if I'm not careful. These guys are doing a lot of damage to me. I'm wasting time trying to pick up. Let's see. Getting knocked down twice. This would probably be a lot easier of an experience if I was playing with 4 players. But clearly they're trying to make it feel pretty difficult. Like they don't want it to feel too easy, where some previous sections have definitely felt too easy. I'm about to get blown up. I got lucky on that. Perhaps not too lucky though. And we've got a constructor. Causing me trouble. Have to be careful. Like, I definitely have not had experiences like this where I'm just constantly getting knocked down. And just a ton of enemies are coming out of nowhere. Yeah, even in the Secret Army of General Knox, you didn't have a section like this. This is like just a wall of bullets. And see, that one cost me $234, which is a much more reasonable amount of money to lose. And I suppose it's nice because the game's not refilling this section with new enemies. So eventually this will work. Eventually I'll eliminate enough enemies to clear this path. Of course, unlike General Knox, you're not under an artificial timer to kill everything and collect loot. Well, that was a slightly entertaining idea the first time you did it. The timer was a little too short, and so you felt like unless you had 4 players playing at the same time, you could not have cleared off the entire area and collected everything and had enough items, enough inventory slots to pick up everything. This repair surveyor is annoying, but I guess I don't need to really mess with it too much. Although this would be the ideal time to waste some time. So the music's down. Not too long of an experience.
Be careful, Slim. My boys seen a ton of bad guys between you and the bunker. I know. I'm making my way up the cliffside, soldier. Keep pushing your way up and I'll meet you at the chamber.
Almost missed an important piece of loot there. I'm a little surprised that I'm full on grenades. And so we have another checkpoint. And now it's going to start blowing us up. Let's see if we can maybe walk around this edge and reveal the map. I guess not. So the map will reveal itself later. Seems like maybe there was a secondary path there, but probably nothing in that secondary path. This is kind of an empty like, this is getting a little bit dangerous. I'm using my electric gun to its fullest against these robots. I again feel like Bullymong should show up at some point. If had they put some armor, some Hyperion style armor on the Bullymong and had them fighting alongside, or any kind of enemies or characters, that would have been kind of a cool idea. It would have expanded it.
Bitches! They ain't rolling out the welcome mat. Maybe you should take out those turrets on the towers so they'll open the doors.
I already did that. Just because I saw that was going to be problematic. Like, just in this fight alone, you can see how this is more serious than most of the fights in Borderlands 1. These people aren't we aren't killing Handsome Jack for fun. We're killing him for serious revenge reasons. So I'm not sure if it's particularly worth it to hang around, because these surveyors electrocute you and tend to drop turrets. And they're difficult to target. Probably a little more difficult than I would say for targeting the racks, which again, we haven't fought nearly enough racks in this game. And we haven't fought even a single rack hive. Which seems like that's a mistake too. So we're gonna destroy the bunker to open the security vault door.
Success.
Why not have this part of the map, instead of having it in 1,000 cuts, why not take the other Hyperion prison level that was super isolated and kind of had nothing in it? Why not add this to the back end of the prison with the same kind of wall, and then have 1,000 cuts and dust connected to be a bigger open area? Like, that seems like that would make a lot more sense in just level design to go towards a more open world. Of course, I think they were limited, and that's probably the reason why it is designed this way. If you were to do a remaster of this game, you'd probably have a lot of levels put in different places once you didn't run into problems with loading being an issue.
Goodbye.
Almost died there.
Ghost.
I'm gonna try and run around and find some excuses to regain my health. I am just on the edge of leveling up. All kinds of enemies everywhere. It seems so weird to be getting second winds right now and nothing else. I'm about to die if I can't kill this guy quickly. And that level up, whatever level up thing I would have gotten, whether that would have been a extra health ability see. I guess I will equip this because it has a longer fuse time, but it does, well, it does fire instead of explosive. So I'm gonna try that, even though it is a longer fuse time. The other things, not so much. I think we can safely ignore that. We can increase our gun damage. Clearly I need one more level before I could get this final ability. And isn't that just insanity? Like, how do you not depict that as total insanity that we're at the end of the game or near the end of the game and I still haven't gotten to the max tier ability? It gets dangerously close to a JRPG style game where you're 60 hours into the game and you're still getting abilities that are super useful. I got stuck in the ground. Yeah, in a lot of ways, Borderlands 2, your first playthrough is pointless. You might as well just find a save file that has you either at New Game Plus or maybe even at a max level, if there is a max level. I'm not sure if they patched that out eventually. I keep saying that. Or like I don't know if more enemies are spawning or if this is just the same couple of people. Yeah, I keep getting stuck with loaders and RPG loaders that are attacking me from above and I can't even see them. I've really picked the perfect time. Like the perfect time to use all my money up. Because now that I'm picking up even small amounts of cash, the maximum amount of deaths are causing problems. So I'm just gonna run over. I'm gonna choose to run up the stairway faster so we can actually take on these guys. Whatever they're... It's like a badass constructor has been taking me on this whole time. And I need something to kill. And just keep on shooting things. Maybe I can take out this constructor before I die? Nope. Because your time to respawn gets slightly reduced based on whether you're taking damage. Feels like every time I'm respawning in this area, by the way, I'm floating on the ground. They chose a really odd place, uneven place to respawn. And, you know, you could have fixed that pretty easily if you had the respawn stations just always have a platform section. See, that guy just respawned all his health, or filled all his health up. Again, an experience that's going to prove to be difficult for a single player to play. And that gun's not doing anything. This gun's not doing anything. Gotta kill something. Get critical hits. Can I get enough critical hits to kill this time? I feel like the game's probably taking pity on me. Yeah, and you just were not gonna get anywhere with it until you had taken out that one enemy. We get some iridium, we get some bullets. Now everything is nice and quiet. Rather odd that, look at all those grenades I just picked up. It's rather odd that the biggest sub-boss that we ended up fighting in this game turned out to be just a constructor. Like, the main story is so built around the idea of Handsome Jack using robots. And I suppose the implication is that very few people actually are left alive to actually work with Handsome Jack because he always kills them, or they run away because they realize Handsome Jack is crazy. But also Hyperion is all about the technology, and it was before Handsome Jack bought the place. Which is a weird connection, certainly, that they would come to Pandora. They're getting little bits. Still wants us to destroy the bunker. And here's a fast save. This is kind of like the highway sections too in the DLC in the first game, where you'd run into areas that you could kind of run through, or if you chose, you could often have quests that would cause you to have to run around and kill large amounts of Crimson Lance, I believe. Still very much only getting greens. And even if you just played Borderlands 1 once, I feel like you should have been able to import your level. Clearly you couldn't import your save file because of what they're doing with the characters in this story, but had I started with the level that I had played on PC when I made my footage for Borderlands 1, had that been the level I started with, and they're just putting this as, oh, look at this nice scenic view skybox, but you can't do anything with it unless you're supposed to crouch down and look. Yeah, had I been at level 30 at the starting of the game and this got me to level 60.
See, a few years back, Wilhelm and I paid a visit to your little friend Tanis, and we beat her for hours. We ripped it out of her broken fingers. But we let her live because that's what heroes do. They show mercy.
Yeah, Handsome Jack thinks he's the hero of the story. There is a slight argument that there are no heroes in Pandora, and I'm fine with that. But still, you kind of assume that the character you're playing as is a lot better than Handsome Jack by far.
Slab, you're coming up on the bunker. I'm sending some of my boys to help you out.
And so we're gonna have some more of the crazy marauders. We haven't seen this kind of vault in a while. Or loot chest. But still I'm not getting anything of any importance. This whole map is pretty empty. I suppose we could see it all now. Let's just take a moment to look at how this all breaks down. You have this whole section. Here's where the invisible wall was, that you really do nothing with. You have this part that's a mountain. You have this outer section that's a mountain, and then you have over here a large empty space of a canyon that you can see right there. Feels like you could have added some of the other smaller sections into this and merge some of the levels and reduce some of the loading, but maybe you couldn't, depending based on the hardware that was there. So now we go to the bunker, and in that loading screen of the bunker, that's not what I thought the bunker looked like. So this might be something I've forgotten about. Like, yeah, this may just be a boss fight that I've completely forgotten about.
Take out those auto cannons, Slab. They're tearing up your air support.
Let's see. We could buy this, but we have insufficient funds. Oh man, 9,000? Do we really not have enough to sell? Let's see. We could sell this one, this one, this one, this one. I just didn't have guns marked off to sell. And I guess I'll hold on to these. I'll sell that mod and that mod. And I'll sell that one. That shield, that shield, that shield. Yeah, selling all of this should give me enough money. There we go. So now we're back to a faster grenade fuse time. I think I'm probably fine on bullets. And let's see, I don't think that there's anything here to buy. You have these kind of interesting tile places.
That protects the final door to my chambers. It will only deactivate once you've destroyed the bunker.
So this is kind of just a whole separate section that it's odd that you needed to load into it. Doesn't seem like there's too much here. And once we destroy the bunker, I bet we can never come back up to this part. I bet it's a one trip. And I assume if you jumped, you would just die, and we can see more of the edge of the canyons.
Alright, fun time's over, kiddies. Breaking his mouth breathers couldn't bust my bunker, and neither can you.
And so we can kind of, I guess, just choose which way we want to go. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a large desertous section. The way the Pandorian map is shown, it seems like there's probably only a small portion of the planet that's been turned into livable space for humans. It seems like a lot of it is just desert. And see, when the bunker's blown up, we've got something there to collect. There's all kinds of bullets, but not a lot of them. Not a lot of enemies to use them on yet. Let's see, seems like I can't even target that from where I am.
Hell yeah! One auto cannon down.
Each one of these little dots looks like it's.
Bust those guns.
It looks like there's a
Laser countermeasures. Jump.
Target death.
there are kind of lasers coming out. Alright. Interesting idea, certainly.
My boys got surprise for you. Look for the buzzard with the white beacon.
Buzzard with the white beacon. And see, I think this thing is going to start flying and attacking us in a second. A completely forgettable boss fight. So, as a hot loader, I don't think we've fought many, if any, of those before.
Watch those laser countermeasures.
And for the most part, all I'm doing. So, am I really supposed to be shooting this slab support beacon? I don't think so. Because if he does, like, if he's supposed to be shot down, then it doesn't seem like he's taking any damage from me. I'm looking here for any more enemies, any more auto turrets, but feels like I may have killed them all. And these little things also are spawning me enemy items. We'll put one over there. Let's see, so there's probably another auto turret over on this side. Easily missed. There's supposed to be 5 more of these, and every time I destroy an auto turret, it decides to attack me. So let's look this direction. I guess I am gonna have to.
You're doing great, Sam. Once we bust this bunker, there's nothing to stop you from grabbing the vault key. Just keep fighting.
Yeah. Once we do this thing, there's nothing to stop me from getting the vault key, he says. Seems kind of obvious that this is designed to make me run around in a circle. Oh man. And and I'm about to die because there's no enemies near me, which is a constant problem, only for single player people, because if I was playing even with the second player, he could have run and revived me. How much is that going to cost me? Probably about 400, maybe 500. 637. How are we on bullets? While we're at it. There you go. It's a long run. And I guess in this long run now it kind of makes some sense to... We can go this way. These bullet refill stations make a little bit of sense now, like, because if you were in a position where you had no money and you, doesn't seem like these robots are getting hurt by the lasers either, and you had no money, then you could use the pickups to account for that. Okay, there's an autocannon over here. We've just got a couple more. So yeah, it seems like you can from most positions, from this position, kill all the turrets. But in this process you are also very much wasting bullets. So I have no idea where they're dropping supplies, but somewhere out on this ring they are dropping supplies. At least they're claiming they're doing that. I'm trying to look to see where the final turret is. There's one more turret, and I cannot find it, so it's probably worth it to run around. I get what they're trying to do here. It's an attempt to make an interesting and different experience in a boss fight instead of giving the standard boring flat, there it is, way at the front, the boring flat circular arenas.
No more autocannons. Good job, Slab.
So now we've got to go destroy the bunker.
You really think I'd protect Angel with nothing but a couple of bots and some flimsy turrets? You see, you're not at the bunker right now. The bunker isn't a place.
That's the bunker.
The bunker. Meet the BNK-3R, the greatest defense bot ever built. Designed her myself. Now do me a favor and die. Oh, crap! The bunker went airborne, Slabs. This is gonna get messy.
So I'm not doing a lot of damage, but this gun will seem to do a lot of damage. We just gotta figure out where its critical point is, if it has one, and hit it with some acid, and possibly get in the middle of the map.
Mortify! Take cover!
This area is no longer blocked, so we can run up here.
Watch those homing rockets, Slab!
which had a interesting thing built off of it. What happens if I would just jump down here? I don't think anything good. Yeah, they're getting artsy with their placement. This auto-firing, caustic sniper rifle. Will do the job. Eventually. Just gotta find the bunker and not die in the process.
Destroy those autocannons on the bunker's hull!
Let's see. See if we can throw a grenade that will stick to them. Out of gun, out of bullets.
Charging this big-ass weapon!
My rocket launcher not doing a lot of damage, but I don't know if we've even died here. I'm getting definitely overwhelmed by larger groups of enemies than large bosses, which, to be fair, there aren't a ton of large bosses. Wow, look at how you attack with this weapon, with a melee attack. I'd kill it, and even though I killed it, that wasn't enough to get a second wave. Just jumping money everywhere. I'm dropping guns. Why the bunker?
Destroyed, you can access the door to my chambers. Move quickly.
I think not. I think it would be ridiculous to move quickly. There's all kinds of guns and items sitting. Let's see. Like guns everywhere. Secret armory, General Knox style. So we definitely want to get everything here. Here's a blue. Here's a purple. Here's a green. We're not really picking up a lot of things. A lot of things are stuck in the floor too. I would argue what should happen is you should run into, I'm not sure if the bunker was always going to stop here or if I just got incredibly lucky that it landed here. I think it was supposed to land here. But yeah, if they had no white color for weapons and it started with green or blue or just any color at all, that would help differentiate between ammo. I suppose the other thing you could do is you could have just ammo marked as its own separate color too. Either one of those works perfectly fine. That would at least alleviate a little fear that I have every now and then that I'm leaving potentially some, well, white rarity gun. Probably really wouldn't be a big loss, but you never know. So yeah, if I was to jump off the waterfall, that would probably kill me. I don't think that there's an achievement for that. but there might be like a challenge for it. In introducing challenges, the game introduces the opportunity for there to be some silly reason to do something, even on top of the achievements. Alright, let's kind of just quickly mark all the guns that, like, this gun potentially might be better than this gun. Let's see, let's compare it. Nope. So even picking up a purple still doesn't seem like it's better than picking up a purple via golden keys. And I wouldn't be surprised if that is absolutely the case, that golden keys are giving you even extra special. One of these is damage reduction with resist. One of these is damage reduction with non-elemental resist. I'll sell that one. Let's see. Purple shield that I don't think I want. I did get the achievement for having all purple equipment, by the way. So that's something I don't have to worry about. I was gonna pick up this gun. So let's just drop something that's really low in value. And ideally, I'm gonna be able to run around and find the place to sell weapons and buy more bullets.
I'm nearly there, soldier! I'm climbing up the rear of the control core! I'll meet you inside!
There's all kinds of iridium and money. And you can probably even feel that there's something different about this whole experience. People coming to help you. The whole team now that is back together is supposedly coming to work with you, when the game has been for human players only up until this point.
Welcome to my humble shop.
Let's see.
Thanks for the scratch. You're
Just
my millionth
double check
customer.
we're
Don't
at
worry your head.
full everything.
Tell your friend Marcus munitions.
And yeah, there's nothing to purchase over here. And you know, we are right at the hour mark. So let's wait before we move any further in the story. We're in a good position. I'm fairly certain that it really isn't like the secret army of General Knox. Past this point, I don't think I'm going to run into picking up a ton of guns. If anything, I'd like to pick up a ton of iridium. Where are we, by the way, on experience? Unlikely, yeah. It's unlikely we'll make it to rank 30 in the next recording, unless we just get a ton of experience doing quests. And then I wanted to look at the challenges and to see, right now we are in the bunker. Is that what this is called? Yes. So is there any challenge at all for the bunker? Because I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't. Like, no Cult of the Vault or anything like that. We've got a lot of other challenges. Like this Hurly-Burly quest, we'd have to go find Bullymong at the beginning of the game to finish that. Whereas some of these other quests are very potentially going to be finished rather quickly if we can do a few more things, which maybe we haven't ground around enough. We still have reasons to open treasure chests. We still have a lot of reasons to try and find some orange color rarities. Which is weird because theoretically legendary weapons, I guess, are higher than purple rarity weapons. And we've done everything as far as green and white rarity weapons. Let's see. Collect more cash. We're nowhere close to collecting that 500,000 cash. So, yeah, I don't know how you'd ever get that much. Trade with other players. We haven't done that at all because I haven't played with anybody else. A lot of the vehicle quests clearly haven't been done. Let's see, turret syndrome. Let's see, but I was looking for bunker stuff, not just specifically all the mini challenges. We still haven't found the one rocket launcher quest, and you know what? I kind of wonder if maybe it's meleeing somebody with a rocket launcher. So if I get an opportunity, I think I'll try that and see if that starts a challenge. Because that seems like such a weird thing you would do. In general, we've done a lot of things with a lot of guns. I guess I haven't used the shotgun that much. So this too might be just meleeing somebody with a shotgun. I thought the assassin would be a melee character, and yet you can see we're not really using that very often. Let's see. So if it was the bunker, it would be listed under this section. Yeah, there's stuff to do back in Lynchwood if you wanted to try that. Just silly things you wouldn't have even have recognized. This whole challenge system is a failure, honestly. If it was going to work, wow, somehow I've missed 4 hidden vault symbols in Sanctuary. If the challenge system was going to work, though, it needed to highlight this stuff a lot more. Discover the hidden vault symbol. Destroy bunker without destroying any of his autocannons. So yeah, that opportunity is gone unless you can respawn him, which I don't think you can. And there is a challenge accepted achievement that starts every level challenge, so I guess it wouldn't count for things like that which aren't leveled challenges, and it's just do it once and that's it. So anything that says like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the beginning of a challenge, those would be things that that achievement requires. Alright, well that's a long wrap up, certainly, just looking at the challenges again. It's going to be a long wrap up after the main story is finished too, because of the Slaughter Dome. Like, if I go finish the Slaughter Dome and it's really fast, doing the Creature Slaughter Dome is still going to be pretty slow. So, I don't know, maybe skip it, maybe do the DLC. I'm starting to work my mind into the idea of, oh yes, let's actually do the DLC, let's do that new content, and let's see how that all works. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.